All right, y'all. So, freedom of speech. That is a very, what do I say, blank expression these days. Because while for some, freedom of speech means consequences, for others, it means nothing. Sweden allowed once again, for the Quran, the holy book of the Muslim people, of my people, to get disrespected, burned, destroyed, stepped on, whatever it may be. It just got disrespected. It was this time, interestingly, an Iraqi guy. Police allowed it. They said it's freedom of speech. When others voice their opinion without being destructive, that means consequences. Stay tuned for more. Welcome to the GBA Podcast, where guilty by association meets gritty, blissful ambiguity. What's up, everybody? Welcome to GBA, the podcast. I'm your host, Rain, and today I also have some interesting topics. So let me dive right in. This is a very, very crazy and sad story that I'm gonna start with. I want to get this out the way first. Two Asian American students who graduated from an Illinois university in May took a trip to Europe before they start their new jobs. One was supposed to start with Microsoft in July. Unfortunately, she never will. When they reached Germany, they went to see the amazing Neuschwanstein Castle. If you guys never heard of this castle, definitely look it up. But then again, if you watch the movie Cinderella, that's what they based Cinderella's castle off of. That's the Neuschwanstein in Bavaria, Germany. These girls took a trip because it's one of the must-see when you're here, I guess, in the southern part of Germany. And they met a fellow American. So I'm talking about Ava Lu, 21-year-old Asian American graduate Ava Lu, and 22-year-old Asian American graduate Kelsey Cheng. That's it. They met 30-year-old fellow American Troy. So obviously, when you meet a fellow person or fellow American person in this case, like if I go somewhere, I meet somebody Moroccan, there is immediately a connection, and this is just by familiarity. My goodness. Familiarity definitely connects, especially if it's a strange place. He lured them by telling them about a very romantic viewpoint that he found. He lured them over a bridge to this particular viewpoint where he started essaying Ava Lu. Kelsey, her friend, sees that, intervenes, and he pushes her off the steep slope. And then he continues to assault Ava Lu. After that, he pushes her down that steep slope as well. Ava Lu fell 165 feet deep. Kelsey, luckily, her fall was interrupted by a branch, and that's what actually saved her life in the end. Ava Lu, unfortunately, passed away in a hospital, I think a day later. The mountain rescue team got to them, took them to the hospitals. They were responsive, both. And Ava Lu, unfortunately, didn't make it alive out of this hospital. The police arrested a suspect. Apparently he wasn't talking, he was mumbling, he didn't say a word, he just went with the police. What I also saw in a different report is certain text messages, because the police told people to come forward, any type of tourists who were there, to show their footage. Maybe they captured something on video. The crazy part for me is this is such a public place. I mean, yes, he did lure them away. I get that. But I still hope that somebody saw something. I mean, He didn't confess as of yet. And by the way, this didn't happen this week. This happened actually 2 weeks ago, but this story still stood out for me, not only because I currently reside in Germany. Is more this, I think this is a crazy story, because usually, especially as females, we think, okay, if I go with a friend, I'll be safe. We can, protect each other, defend each other, be there for each other. But it didn't work out in this case. It just simply didn't work out in this case. Anywho, there were somebody from Thailand came forward. A woman from Thailand came forward, and there are some text messages. He was literally texting her before he did what he did, telling her about his hike, sending her pictures, and there is even a picture where they assume that this could be a picture of Kelsey and her friend Ava. But we don't have any further information, except that as of right now, he's not going to be extradited to the US. He has to stay here in Germany and await trial. And unfortunately, the German system and murder, giving people life, is most of the time 15 years, unless you are a danger, and they check it. Like, so after 15 years, they're going to evaluate your situation, and then they either let you go or they keep you. And then after 18 years, so after another additional 3 years, after the 15 years, they're going to evaluate your situation again and then decide. And I think it's crazy for me, and I'm going to say this here out loud and proud: people who are alive, people should never be able to walk any street of this globe unless it's self-defense. So there is not much for me to say here, except a lot of strength, a lot of patience, and a lot of I really have no words. A lot of strength and a lot of patience. This triggers me so much. This is very close to home for me. So I really don't know what to say. 2 girls that had such a bright future. They were very hands-on in their community, volunteering in Chinese schools, being active in the church, like really, had, I think one graduated in computer engineering, the other one in computer science. Ava, unfortunately, will not be able to start her job with Microsoft that she'd gotten after an internship that she did last year. So I don't know. It's just absolutely crazy and insane, and I can't even fathom how it must feel when you are actually the friend. Like when you're with your friend out there, you do this whole trip together, and you're happy, you're living your best life at the moment, and then this happens, and your friend actually is not there anymore, and you make it out. I really don't want to even begin to imagine how Kelsey would feel right now. So, yes, I wanted that crazy story out first, and it's really hard to come back from such a story and continue, but the show must go on. And yeah, let me stay here in Europe. This is not so much about America, this one here, but it does affect kind of the whole globe. So this is not new. This has been going on, but the voices are getting louder in the Netherlands, because the Netherlands, the government, it shut down 3,000, yes, 3,000, 3,000 farms. Okay, they shut down 3,000 farms, which means about 3,000 farmers don't have their business anymore. And the choice was not so much a choice and not so much an option, but it was, look, we're going to buy out your farm and you better give it to us because we're the government. And right now, the EU regulation for nitrogen emission and for nitrogen at all is too high. So they're saying until 2030, the Netherlands, the farmers need to reduce it by 50%. That's a lot. In what, 7.5 years? Oh, it's not even 7.5 years. Yo, my math is really terrible. Terrible, but it's terrible even more so. Okay, so it's 6.5 years. I know it always sounds like I have an excuse, but I really had a long ass day today. I meant to record in the morning, but I couldn't. So now I'm here in the middle of the night. I just got home and literally freshened up my powder. Oh my gosh, I didn't even redo my lipstick. Well, whatever. Yeah, and I'm sitting here recording. Anywho, who cares, right? It's actually not that interesting. What I went through, what my day was like, nothing. So nitrogen needs to be reduced by 50% till 2030. The WEF, the World Economic Forum, and the EU are working together. This is all to combat climate change. Okay, so sustainability is a good thing, right? And we definitely, as I said in the last episode, should give back to the planet and should definitely stop being disrespectful to the planet as much as we can. But anywho, these farmers are taken out of business and they're not allowed to start another farm again, to buy another farm or participate in another farm in the EU. They would really have to literally move continents in order to be legally able to run another farm. That's that. Now, the biggest exports from the Netherlands are eggs, flowers, meat, dairy, and of course, vegetables and fruits. Mainly vegetables and fruits are consumed at home, like in their country, but flowers, dairy, and everything else is distributed everywhere else. So will it affect the prices of things in the world? Yes, kind of. Especially UK, Belgium, France, and Germany will be hit by a price raise for these kind of products like meat, dairy, flowers and eggs. And you know those tulips that everybody knows from the UK, from the Netherlands, they are also sold in the US and in Canada. So that is how the prices in Canada and in the US will be affected for those who are in love with tulips from the Netherlands. Because I do want to believe that in Canada and US, tulips are grown as well. So the Dutch, they're very big on agriculture, and they do produce 6% of the food in the EU, and that's a lot. So the farmers are protesting. Everybody else who's with them are protesting. They're just like, blocking the road, blocking the highways with their tractors. Voices are getting louder, but not really much is happening. I guess the decision is made and it is what it is. These farmers need to find another occupation. They better take the money so they have some type of capital to start maybe something else with, or retire depending on how old they are. Yeah, guys, that's what's up. That's what's happening with them farmers. Nitrogen needs to be reduced. And, since we have found a way on how to create meat synthetically in the lab, and we also probably find a way how to synthetically create fruits and vegetables. Who needs farming? Who? I can hear you. I don't know who needs farming. I guess nobody. That's what they say. It's not necessary. Okay. Let me keep my cheap sarcasm to myself, I guess. And then I gotta say, it's summertime. It's summertime. I'm traveling soon again. I will be going to a hot place with a lot of mosquitoes. And just almost a month ago, I've been bitten twice and it was really nasty on my arm, and they just now disappearing. Yes. And then I thought, like, okay, you know what? I've been meaning to do this for a while now. So let me look up what's up with these mosquitoes. Like, what's going on? Why are they so annoying? Why are they sucking our blood? What's up with our blood that they love it? Like, and I did some research, y'all, and I felt like, okay, maybe I should share it. So interestingly, trust the women to be aggressive and the go-getters is just female mosquitoes that suck our blood. Male mosquitoes are quite content with eating flower nectar. But the female mosquitoes, they eat flower nectar and they eat our blood. And they need our blood. They need a protein that's in our blood in order to reproduce. So for them to reproduce and procreate, they need that protein that's in our blood. So literally, when the female mosquito bites us and the mosquito saliva hits our blood, the body registers this as an allergen. And then the immune system, of course, wants to fight back and sends out some soldiers. In that case, it's the chemical histamine. That's the soldier that they send out to fight back those alleged allergens. And the histamine goes straight to that area through our blood flow, through our body, however. And then this is what creates the itching. This is why it's always itching, and you think like, oh my gosh, I can't, I just gotta scratch this. Itch. So yes, that's what happens, and that's how these mosquitoes continue to build their community. Knowing that, I feel like, bro, now even more so, because I don't like y'all should not get my blood whatsoever. But the thing is, these female mosquitoes, they're not really fussy. They don't discriminate. They love everybody. As much as some people say, oh, mosquitoes, I don't really get those bites. They don't really come to me. Mosquitoes are really not discriminating. But there are certain things that attract them more, and that is dark clothing. Good to know. Body temperature, perfume, we knew that, obviously. Sorry, any type of nice and sweet smells, whether it's spray for your hair, body sprays, creams, whatever. So try to avoid that, or have your mosquito protection spray that's so stinky and sticky, and oh my gosh, I don't like it. I really don't. When you spray it on your body and you're sticky and it smells so bad and you start coughing, just talking about it, I guess, just makes me cough right now. Anyhow, there are also like a lot of products over the counter that you can get to help with the itching, with the burning, but there's also like a lot of natural ways that you can do. You can, for example, use aloe vera leaves. The salicylic acid in there is very helpful with the burning and itching sensation. It definitely calms it. You can also use chamomile tea. So soak a chamomile tea bag in some water, wait for a while, let the chamomile really, let the aroma really come out, and just put the tea bag on that particular area as well. And then you can also use honey, but I find this very messy. I would never and this is the crazy part, like, why would I put honey? That attracts other bugs, or maybe even attracts mosquitoes more. But since honey has healing properties and it helps with inflammation and everything, yeah, I get it. I really do. I get it. So, and then what my grandma always used to tell me and used to do is a lemon. Cut a lemon in half and put the half of the lemon on that particular area. And she always used to dab some vinegar when she didn't have lemons available. She used to dab some vinegar on it because that acid is also anti-inflammatory and helps with the itch and the burn. And of course, in transmitted active areas, you can also, a mosquito can also transmit certain diseases such as Zika. And that comes with body rashes, fever, headaches, joint pain, nausea, just like drain, exhaustion, everything. So, when you feel that way and you've been bitten, go get checked. Like, don't wait too long because you never know, especially if you go to certain areas where these diseases are definitely very active. Other than that, there is not much to say, I guess, to these so-called bugs. Oh my gosh, it's the most annoying. That's the only thing why that's the only thing that really spoils my excitement about traveling to hot countries, hot places, because they're just there. They're just there. And there's nothing you could do about them. My next thing, so this is really interesting. Something that I've been very, very, very vocal about since forever. Aspartame, the artificial sweetener. Oh my gosh, I just sounded like an Indian, right? The artificial sweetener. I wasn't mocking anyone, it just happens. Okay, let me start again. The artificial sweetener, aspartame, has been declared as probably carcinogenic by, yes, the World Health Organization. Who? So maybe now all of those people that are too lazy to do their own research and just trust whatever they are told can finally believe it. And aspartame aspartame is in diet drinks, chewing gum, different sugar-free products. They always advertise with sugar-free products, but what's so interesting is, so this product, aspartame, is on the market since 1981. Look, guys, look how long. I think that product is what is it, 42 years old? And just now, they're telling us it's carcinogenic. Interesting, or probably carcinogenic, because the World Health Organization, they have 3 groups. The first group is definitely carcinogenic. That's like tobacco and similar things. Then you have the possibly you have the possibly carcinogenic. That's like eating too much red meat. And then you have the probably carcinogenic, and that's the third group, and that's where they put aspartame in. They say, yeah, well, it's not so bad. You would have to drink 12 aspartame soda drinks or soda cans, whatever, or diet drinks cans a day to actually be maybe possibly affected. But it's not only that. It doesn't mean that you have to drink 12 cans of Diet Coke or Diet Sprite or iced tea or whatever that may be. You can literally drink 2 or 3 cans a day, which is like maybe 2 or 3 glasses, but then you might have other sugar-free products that you're consuming where sugar was replaced with aspartame. And what's so interesting, aspartame is 200 times sweeter than sucrose. And what is sucrose? Sucrose is actually is produced in plants, and that is the main component of sugar. So it's extracted from sugar cane and sugar beet mostly, and then refined into sugar so we can consume it. So it's really interesting how this thing is 200 times sweeter than sucrose. And there's other natural sweetness, by the way. We have maple syrup, we have agave. I don't know, I heard some stuff about agave. Haven't deep dived to find out about agave so much, but there is date molasses. There are different things. There are a few things, you know. Definitely aspartame is not the only option. Of course, the company that creates aspartame is not really happy. They're trying to combat this whole thing, because honestly and truly, a lot of things that we consume are carcinogenic. But I have seen, maybe like 10 years ago, a documentary about aspartame and its effects on people. And that was crazy, because not only can it cause cardiovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes, but it can also affect your brain in a very, very nasty way. So all I'm saying, hands off that aspartame. Not because it says sugar-free, it means it's healthier. And it doesn't even work, you know, like most people that I know that are on this whole diet drink thing, they think they're doing something good because they're trying to watch their weight, they want to lose weight, and they're like, oh, I'm not consuming sugar. No, bitch, you're not, but you consume something way worse. Yep. Something way worse. And of course, I have to talk about France. France is in uproar right now. People are protesting like always. I mean, the French Revolution, this whole protesting, violent protesting, and destructive behavior is engraved in the French and in their DNA. So 17-year-old Nahel, Algerian French Nahel, M was shot and unalive by a policeman during a search and stop. He refused to comply. They stopped him allegedly in a car with two other passengers. The car had Polish number plates, and because he didn't comply, he's not with us any longer. The mom says the policeman saw just an Arab face, so it's racially motivated. This is the second similar incident this year. Last year, there were 13 police brutality incidences in France, mainly racially motivated. And it's really crazy, you know, like not only did the 17-year-old lose his life because he chose to be difficult in a very wrong situation, which does not justify this type of action, but they're trying to allegedly tarnish his character and personality. And I think this is the worst thing you can do, even to the family members. Like, literally leave those people alone. They're already going through it as it is. Why do you guys have to put, oh, he had a chaotic education, he's enrolled in college, but he doesn't even show up daily? You don't know what this kid went through. It's just him and his single mom, his grandmother. We don't know these people's circumstances. So stop judging and stop participating in this madness. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. I just don't understand. Okay? There is no justification for a policeman to do something like this. The kid was 17 years old. Yes. He shouldn't have been driving this car. Yes, he's too young to have a driving license. In France and Europe, you can have a driver license. You can make it when you're 17. You can start on it, but you're literally, it's a provisional one. So you're allowed to drive when you're 18. That's when you're allowed to drive on your own. I get all of that. I'm not justifying his behavior, but this doesn't warrant something like this. So again, also to this family, a lot of strength, a lot of patience. And last but not least, I just want to say something, and I want to encourage everybody. And it's mostly women, but I'm gonna say everybody. Don't, like, all the guys don't come for me, y'all too, but it's mainly women who are easily guilt tripped when they put themselves first. There is nothing wrong with finally realizing and admitting to it and saying it out loud. This situation I'm in doesn't suit me anymore. I'm not happy. I'm not at peace. I don't get what I want. So I need to do something about it, because I did this long enough. And mainly it's women who are used to putting other people, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or even at work. Like, you can have work relationship where you put other people first. There should be a point. It should be. It's only natural, where you say, okay, not no more. It's about me now. And I just want to encourage everybody to put themselves first sometimes. It might look selfish, but it's not. I used to be that person. For me, it was more important that everybody else was great, was good, had what they needed. And for me, it was like, whatever. As long as everybody else is good, I'll find a way to deal with my situation. How wrong was I? It took me a very long time. I'm not 100% there, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, I promise. I'm good putting myself first sometimes. I don't have to tolerate everybody's BS so that they can feel great, and I'm here suffering. So, all the ladies and some guys, it's okay to put yourself first. Don't feel no way about it. And with that, please do make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find us on all streaming platforms. Do what you gotta do. Leave a review on Apple. I think you can even comment on Spotify now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I think so. I'm old school, y'all. And of course, you can engage with us on YouTube in the comment section. Subscribe, like, share. Find me on social media. Everything is in the show note. And shout out to my amazing editor who stepped up his game, y'all. So if you need some edits, if you need some work done, holla at me. So I'm out for now, and I see you guys very soon, I guess.